Hi, this is the Business Guy. Independence Day, commonly called the 4th of July, is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the Declaration of Independence, which was ratified by the Second Continental Congress on July 4, 1776. The founding father delegates of the Second Constitutional Congress declared that the 13 colonies were no longer subject and subordinate to the monarch of Great Britain, King George III, and were now united and free and independent states. Congress voted to approve Independence Day by passing the Lee Resolution on July 2nd and adopted the Declaration of Independence 2 days later on July 4th. And if you appreciate this info and want to see more, please like and subscribe. Independence Day is commonly associated with fireworks, parades, barbecues, carnivals, fairs, picnics, concerts, baseball games, family reunions, political speeches, and ceremonies, in addition to various other public and private events celebrating the history, government, and traditions of the United States. Independence Day is the national holiday of the United States. A little background for you. During the American Revolution, the legal separation of the 13 colonies from Great Britain in 1776 actually occurred on July 2nd, when the Second Continental Congress voted to approve a resolution of independence that had been proposed in June by Richard Henry Lee of Virginia, declaring the United States independent from Great Britain's rule. After voting for independence, Congress turned its attention to the Declaration of Independence, a statement explaining the decision, which had been prepared by a committee of 5 with Thomas Jefferson as the principal author. Congress debated and revised the wording of the Declaration to remove its vigorous denunciation of the slave trade, finally approving it 2 days later on July 4th. A day earlier, John Adams had written to his wife Abigail, "The 2nd day of July, 1776 will be the most memorable epoch in the history of America. I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. It ought to be commemorated as the day of deliverance by solemn acts of devotion to God Almighty. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shows, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of the continent to the other, from this time forward and forevermore." Adams' prediction was off by just 2 days. From the outset, Americans celebrated Independence Day on July 4th, the date shown on the much-publicized Declaration of Independence, rather than on July 2nd, the date the Resolution of Independence was approved in a closed session of Congress. Historians have long disputed whether members of Congress signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, even though Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Benjamin Franklin all later wrote that they had signed it on that day. Most historians have concluded that the Declaration was signed nearly a month after its adoption on August 2nd, 1776, and not on July 4th as commonly believed. By remarkable coincidence, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams are the only 2 signatories on the Declaration of Independence later to serve as presidents of the United States, and both died on the same day, July 4th, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration. Jefferson even mentioning that fact. Although not a signatory of the Declaration of Independence, James Monroe, another founding father who was elected president, also died on July 4th, 1831, making him the 3rd president to die on the anniversary of independence. The only U.S. president to have been born on Independence Day was Calvin Coolidge, who was born on July 4th, 1872. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. See you next time. This is the Business Guy.